What's going on, YouTube? It's that same place to be, Chill Train, Mr. A&D, and not DI since for prime time.
What's up, y'all? Armed Anderson is back in the building.
Oh, yes, he is, man. He out there burning tires and slapping Cody right in front of his house, I say. So, it's a midweek wrestling war here. We got a lot of things going on here. NXT 2.0 sees, Mandy Rose taking on Ember Moon in a fatal 4-way tag team matchup, and Braun Breaker challenging for the NXT Championship, while AEW celebrating their 2-year anniversary with a huge 8-man tag match and, of course, a casino ladder match right here in my home state city of Philadelphia. So we got a lot to talk about here, and so let's get right on to it. So NXT 2.0 starts off. We got Mandy Rose, a Toxic Attraction, taking on Ember Moon. Ember Moon, she's just supporting the black and gray look here. Obviously, this match is meant to get Mandy Rose over. Ember Moon tries to go for first she hits a stiff forearm on Mandy Rose. That don't look like it did some damage, honestly. Because even though Mandy Rose is better, and I like Mandy Rose, she is good, but she's not on Ember Moon's level, in my personal opinion. Ember goes for the Eclipse, but then rolls out the way, and then Mandy gives her jumping knee, which, by the way, Ember sells like a champion, and she wins the matchup. So Mandy Rose is the winner here to help give Mandy Rose some wins on NXT. So I like her going back to NXT and doing this kind of stuff. So
is that like her fifth win on NXT?
On 2.0, this is actually her first.
No, just
match.
in general. In general.
Oh, in general, yeah, probably so. But right now, they don't count all that old stuff, so they only go by what's going on now. So, yeah.
I believe she only had 2 matches. I believe.
Well, she actually had a match against Ember Moon back in 2016 and lost.
Yeah, I remember Ember hit her with the Eclipse and she sold it.
Yeah, so I was like, so Ember, I guess, returned the favor all these years later. So, next matchup, we have Odyssey Jones taking on LA Knight. For one reason, why is LA Knight even still in NXT right now? I figured he would definitely be called up to the main roster, especially after he jobbed the opening night twice into NXT 2.0. And I was like, this looks like main roster shit, but he's still currently here. Odyssey Jones has the advantage.
I feel like they have a lot of people that they going to call up, because there's no reason why Walter and Imperium should not be on the main roster.
There's no reason why Walter and Imperium shouldn't be on NXT, because they need to get rid of. They need to stop being on NXT UK.
They're not on there either.
Yeah. I'm about to say, I don't know if I want to see Walter on the main roster, but I do want to see him in NXT. At least, doing something. But if he don't fit their mold, then bring him to the main roster. But he has to be utilized somehow, or he may just want to leave.
Because he's not even in NXT UK. Imperium, the rest of them were never really in NXT UK like that. So it's kind of like they kind of like how Pac is. When Pac be there for 2 weeks, and then he leave for a month, and they come back in 2 weeks, and they leave. That's how they are.
Man, that's crazy. Andre Chase comes down.
Did you just say
Andre Chase? Yes. Fuck this guy. Comes down on the apron to strike Odyssey Jones. Then LA Knight hits a reverse neck breaker. Odyssey Jones just get his leg underneath the rope, but then Andre Chase pushes it away, and LA Knight wins the matchup. So that's obviously the next rivalry we're going for: Odyssey Jones and Andre fucking Chase. So there you have it.
Don't tell me they're gonna be like this rivalry started at the wedding.
No, this rivalry started during the breakout tournament. Remember, Odyssey Jones beat Andre Chase in the first round.
Yeah, but they're going to be like, oh, I was at the wedding. I was just trying to see that anybody called my name. And you had to go and beat me down.
I was trying to see if anybody called my this dumb something. Anyway, Cameron Grimes is said he loves in the air at NXT. You have Index in a Beautiful Wedding, and then there's Cara J and Trey Baxter, I guess, making out everywhere. He's just jealous that he's on the prowl for a lucky lady. Then Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland come and say they're going to change things around NXT, even though Ridge Holland got drafted. So he challenges Cameron Grimes to a match. Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner is backstage as Von Wagner is trying to give Kyle O'Reilly a pep talk. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, he's trying to tell Kyle, he's trying to reinform Kyle O'Reilly that he has heart and that he has his back and that he looked up to him. Like, are you, get Von Wagner out of here? Are you serious? As if Kyle O'Reilly, I mean, I know Cool Kyle sucks, the character, but you ain't gonna do it to Kyle O'Reilly. Stop that.
You not saying Von Wagner?
No, not Von Wagner. NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa comes to the ring. Halloween Havoc is in return later the month, and of course they're having a pay-per-view. And Braun Breaker comes out with he got the sirens this time.
Woo!
Yeah, he come out with the sirens to all my freaks. So he comes out there.
They might as well just call this man. They might as well just acknowledge Scott and Rick Steiner. They might as well
like call him the ultimate, whatever it is. But I'm just like, yo, bro. He's every single week he's getting more and more Steiner in him. More and more Steiner in him. So he says, look, he said that he's here and he wants that NXT championship. So he challenges him for the championship at Halloween Havoc, where Ciampa accepts. But then Joe Gacy, your boy, cuts promo backstage and says, while yesterday the world sat still when social media crashed, he still had his voice. Because the previous day Facebook and Instagram went down, and I didn't fucking know it's because I don't have either of them. So, he said, the voice of a generation of diversity. I said, this guy here, he knows one platform that will never crash, NXT. Tonight.
Oops.
That was a good one. That was well timed, bro. That was well timed. Ike Manjaro taking on Joe Gacy. Joe Gacy avoids Ike's flying kick and hits him with a handspring clothesline for the win. So after the match, Joe Gacy lifts up Ike Manjaro and gives him a hug. Leaves and applauds Ike, and on his way to the ramp, Gacy sees an intense fan standing up and staring at him. He stares down, and I'm pretty sure it's the Brock Lesnar kid, the one who looks like Brock Lesnar.
The kid.
Well, he's not a kid, but you know what I'm saying. You know how they always put it. Like, who's that kid? But it's the Brock Lesnar guy, the one who looks like Brock Lesnar. They can bring in NXT.
Oh, Parker Gunnar.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Gunnar Harlan.
Yeah. So, Coral J versus Frankie Monet with Robert Stone. I honestly did not know that they kind of fell apart, to be honest with you. I missed that segment. But for some reason, Monet tried to go for the curb stop, but then Jay catches her with a huge spear, and Monet looks for the grandstand, but Jay rolls off for the win, and Carl J wins the match. And I'm like, why is Frankie Monet taking all these pins?
I guess they don't value her as much as other people do.
I'm about to say, like, y'all got Tyler Valkyrie from Impact, one of the best women's champions that they had over in the Knockouts division, and she's coming over here, and she has not won any. I think she won 1 or 2 matches, but that was back during the old NXT. But in the new NXT, she has lost. She's 0 for 2.
Yeah, and I mean, she is like 39, almost 40, but that's still not a reason for her to not even look like she don't even like. I don't even believe her to win any matches at all.
Yeah,
the way that they book her,
and that sucks. MSK backstage with interview by Grizzly Young veterans appear to start berating them. MSK suggested tonight's tag team match be Elimination Rules. So, yeah, then they start brawling. Ciampa's backstage for an interview, and Joe Gacy walks up and says that he heard Ciampa will challenge anyone with balls, and, well, that very specifically is toxic. So, Ciampa speaking from a place of privilege, and anyone should be allowed an opportunity. So Ciampa said, "Well, look, he said if Gacy can beat him next week, then we'll talk about adding you to the title shot." Then he goes in for the hug. He says, Ciampa holds it back and says, "Let me tell you something. That ring next week will not be a safe space." Then we got Pete Dunne taking on Cameron Grimes, which I thought was probably the match of the night next to the tag team matchup because it felt like old NXT when he was having their matchup. and it was really good as Cameron Grimes attacks Ridge Holland on the outside as he was trying to double cross him over, but then Pete Dunne he tried to go for the cave in, but Pete Dunne throws him over the top rope and then lands a bitter end for the win. Pete Dunne wins the matchup. After the matchup, Ridge Holland and Pete Dunne trying to attack Cameron Grimes, but then Cool Kyle, the one who had to get Von Wagner, let him know that he still has heart, comes out to attack both of these guys, and then after that, we get the Tony D'Angelo promo because he's here to take care of business because his debut is after the break. God, so
I've been hearing a lot of people talking about him and giving him praise. I don't know what he do.
Well, before that, Hit Rose in the recording studio said they ain't running from Legado del Fantasma. They're running to the money. So SmackDown wanted them, and why wouldn't they? Swerve says that since Escobar wants the North American Championship, then he'll come get it on Friday night. So I actually kind of like the promo here because it's also saying, like, he didn't say we're doing it on Halloween Havoc. He's saying on Friday night. I know better to know that WWE is not drafting Legado del Fantasma to SmackDown along with Hit Row because they will not do this rivalry any kind of justice.
No, they already said that they doing it at Halloween Havoc.
Oh, they are doing a Halloween Havoc now?
Yeah, they already said it.
Okay. So yeah. So
first title defense is a loss.
It's a loss. And then Santos is gonna win it. And I'm just like, Santos, to be honest with you, should be on the main roster also. But honestly, it sucks because we don't get the full Hit Row versus Legado del Fantasma. Because I was telling you, and I've seen people agree with me that they would figure that this may be a War Games match. At least one of them.
Vince is not doing no intergender War Games match.
First of all, is Vince even doing a War Games match?
He might not. What is War Games? We only know Elimination Chamber. We're gonna do Elimination Chamber.
That just sucks, man. It really does. We got Malik Blade. Yes, his name is Malik Blade, taking on Tony D'Angelo. Now, Tony D'Angelo is wrestling in a white beater and some crushed velvet Sean John sweatpants.
Hey.
You say A for that?
No, say that's what it. Ain't that what they say? Hey.
Oh, hey. So, he's solid in the ring. He wins with the Northern Lights suplex into a swinging nutbreaker for the win. So imagine, like, remember how Jason Jordan used to do the multiple Northern Lights suplexes?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he does the Northern Lights suplex, and then he picks the person up into like that Elias Fish move where he does like the swinging nutbreaker, but he holds the leg also. So it's actually very impressive. But Tony D'Angelo wins the matchup, and that's basically.
Now, I'll be honest. His name was Tony D'Angelo, but his Italian thing, I feel like his name would be Joe Gacy.
Yeah.
Joe Gacy. Hey, what you got to say,
what?
man?
Hey, you know what? I even think about it like that. You know what? Quick question. It's a side. It's completely unrelated to this review.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think any of these new characters are going to be in 2K22?
Ooh, that's too. Now I don't think so. That's too many to add.
Now, obviously not all of them. I'm saying, but like Braun Breaker, Odyssey Jones, Joe Gacy, the ones that they're trying to push to the limelight now. Do you think that?
I don't think so. I think there'll be maybe DLC. There'll be like an NXT or Future Stars DLC.
Who want to buy an NXT 2.0 DLC?
Nobody, but hey.
I'm just saying, because if you got now, obviously, if the game came out this month like it was supposed to, obviously you can't do that. But since the thing is,
that is kind of weird though. It's like, haven't they been working on the game since the end of 2K20? 20?
Yes.
So it kind of should have been ready.
Well,
right?
It was ready. But what happened was, what happened was that Vince told 2K, this is the last straw. If the game fails, again, we leaving 2K. They put a lot of pressure on them. But here's the problem though. Then all of a sudden, WWE started releasing everybody. So what happened was, the fans are very particular. They said if we release this game, we're releasing a outdated game.
All right.
And WWE did not want them to release the outdated game, but they still want them to release the game. And it's just like, well, what do you want us to do? Because you fired over 50 people. I don't know if NXT is still in the my career mode. I don't even know if these people, if they're gonna take that out now. I don't know if they're gonna even because it's hard to like to redo a whole my career and do scenes and cutscenes and make it all better within the next 7 months that y'all got to fix this game.
It's gonna be like that one year where the random guy voiced John Cena. Oh, I'm John Cena.
Oh god, that was terrible. That was fucking terrible. Yeah. They can't have that shit again. But if they got 7 months, that means that when people see the game come WrestleMania, they're going to be expecting to see the new NXT logo in arena. They're probably going to be expecting to see the new SmackDown.
I think we get all the new arenas, but I don't know about like Joe Gacy and all them.
Okay, I was just curious.
Only because they could fail. They could not be there next month. They could fail. We don't know.
We don't know. But like I said,
Vince like to give people one chance, and if they don't get it, he just like push them to the side and fire them. So
yeah, but if the rumor of General Manager mode is supposed to come back, you need people in this game, and not just to rely on the legends. And once again, you don't know what legends are going to be. They probably took Ric Flair out, or he may still be in there. You never know. They probably took Mick Foley out, or he may still be in there. You never know because now they got an extra 7 months. That's damn near that's half a year. To add or to take away a lot of things. So if you're going to take away 50 plus people, you got to replace them with something. And that's why I was just asking. But
I just hope everybody getting new attires and updated like hair and movements and all that kind of stuff like that.
I hope so too. May Ying with Bo are taking on Indy Hartwell. I'm like, this thing is dead. Okay.
Now, Mei Ying, this has to be a different person playing her, right?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know because I thought she was tall. Did I see like her in Indy? And I'm
no. She was never tall. First of all, Indy Hartwell was tall.
No, I know Indy is tall, but I thought like Mei Ying was like at least to her like shoulder. Mei Ying was like to her like stomach. I was like, oh, she kind of she's small.
She was very small, but Indy Hartwell wins with a springboard clothesline. It beats her. I'm like, this act is dead. Xia Li already got called up. This act is dead now. So, and nothing more you can do. Lash Legends backstage and talking about, how she shut down Facebook and Instagram. But then Tony D'Angelo walks in and says, hey, he loved the show and he wants to be part of it next week. And she said, oh, I loved him in that new Sopranos movie. I was like, oh, God. Raquel Gonzalez comes to the ring, says everyone may be talking about toxic attraction, but Mandy have no idea what she's messing with. And she and Mandy have been around for a month tops, but she's been dominating for over a year. Toxic attraction comes out. Mandy says that she used to admire Raquel, says that she sounded pretty damn desperate, and she's making idle threats, but they could fall at her feet. And basically, there's going to be a stare down, and I didn't watch the rest of the segment, to be honest with you. What happened? Did it turn to? Something happened. Raquel Gonzalez got, I think, your homegirls, Io Shirai and Zoe Starks came in to even the odds when they about to jump Raquel. So I was like, okay, whatever. NXT Tag Team Titles, Fatal 4-Way Elimination matchup. MSK taking on the Grizzly Young Vets, taking on Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, taking on Boot Scoot, a.k.a. Josh Briggs and Brooke Jensen. So here's the thing. They eliminated Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes first.
So was that his chance, his opportunity, or is it not?
I don't think it was his chance, no. These got added to the match. Then the Grizzly Young Vets were eliminated by Josh Briggs and Brooke Jensen, so it was left down to them and MSK. MSK pull out the win here with a roll up after he tackles Briggs outside the ring. MSK wins. After the match, Jensen aren't happy. They grab the belts, and then the fans start chanting, "We want Mello." And I was like, okay. So Briggs and Jensen leave. Imperium rush attack MSK, but then Boots Scootin' come back and help save them and run them off, and that's how NXT ends for the week. So yeah, so and there you have it. So sure, and NXT was some, but now we're gonna go over to the show that happened, which was the 20-year anniversary of. It's the 2-year anniversary of AEW Dynamite, and it's Wednesday, and you know what that means. He got better. Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, Excalibur on the broadcast team. We start off with an 8-man tag team matchup. The Super Elite. Kenny Omega, Adam Cole, and the Young Bucks taking on.
Technically, they are the Elite.
They're not the Super Elite?
Well, I'm just being technical. I'm just saying technically the Elite started. It was those 4 that started it.
Okay.
And then obviously it went on to everything. So now when it's those 4 back together, obviously their stock has raised. So now they're the Super Elite.
Gotcha. Now, if Kevin Owens comes over, was he part of the Elite?
No.
Or he was part of Mount Rushmore?
Yeah.
Wow.
The Elite started, it was just Kenny, the Bucks, and Adam Cole.
Okay. No AJ, Finn Balor, none of that's just Bullet Club stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So many groups to try to figure this shit out.
They were in the Bullet Club at the time, but like those 4 were the Elite.
Okay.
So yeah.
Gotcha. Well, they're taking on American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, Christian Cage, Jurassic Express, and why is Marcos keep coming out here? I thought the match was pretty good, especially being in Philly. It was hot. The Liacouras Center was packed. I was like, oh shit, I ain't never really seen Liacouras Center packed like that. Because once again, I've never been at a wrestling show in the Liacouras Center before. I think
that's what they do it in the smaller arenas to pack them more, rather than trying to go and do the 15,000 seat arena and you know.
Yeah, well, like I said, because I wanted to go back during the lockdown 2009 when it was like Mick Foley versus Sting for the TNA Championship, and I was like, I really wanted to go to that because that was in Philly, but I didn't get a chance to get down to Liacouras Center because that was the because I always go to Wells Fargo, obviously, where they have the WWE shows at, or the 2300 Arena, where they have the House of Hardcore and Ring of Honor shows at. But so I want to make it to.
Imagine if they would have ran a AEW show and been Marks and ran it in the 2300 Arena.
I hope don't ever do that. Don't ever fucking do that.
Oh my god, that's some Mark stuff right there.
That is some Mark stuff like that. Don't ever do that shit. Don't do that. AEW is way.
You know what? Honestly, if I was them, I wouldn't do it for. I would do it for like a house show type of thing.
No.
They don't do house shows.
No.
I would do it for something like that.
No. Leave that shit to Ring of Honor because AEW is way beyond 2300 Arena. Way
WWE went to 2300 Arena. What are you talking about?
What you say? What?
WWE went there. What didn't they go there with the when they was partnering with Evolve?
Bruh, Evolve was there. They sent their camera people there. No, and you just had the WWE Network thing on there, but other than that, no nobody else other than Gargano and Matt Riddle and Drew Gulak. Nobody else was there. Nobody. They did send some of the superstars to take pictures with them, but other than that, no. They wasn't staying there. Jungle Boy is the MVP of the matchup, but I hate seeing him still take the pin on a lot of these things. The ref back his turn, and he low blow Luchasaurus. Super Lee do a terrible 4-man power bomb.
Yeah, Kenny could not hold him and fail.
I was like, yes. What happened here? Did he sandbag him? Did Kenny Omega just not couldn't get him up? What the hell happened?
He probably just couldn't carry him. You know, he is like 320 something pounds, and you know.
Yeah, well,
when they had him, it was good. As soon as they let go, he was like, and then you know. So, probably what it was.
Everybody was and then
Everybody started booing too. I was like, I kind
no,
of feel bad.
that's terrible. The Buck Super Kick Jungle Boy and Omega uses the Snapdragon on Jungle Boy, and Cole follows up with a Panama Sunrise on Jungle Boy. Brian Danielson is there to make the save to stop the pin, but Danielson ate a triple super kick, and then Super Elite hit a 4-way V-trigger on Jungle Boy. They just destroyed Jungle Boy, and then they gave him like a Margot stunt destroying. And
no, I don't. I kind of miss having them on house shows because that's when they were their most annoying. So that's why when they run the ropes, obviously that was their like Ring of Honor and all that spot because they were just doing it. Like they wasn't on TV then. So I like there's more stuff that they did when they weren't on TV that was just fun for the crowd that they obviously can't do anymore now that they're on TV. But that's why it kind of reminded me of it. It's just like we just gonna all hit you in the back of the head for no reason just because we can.
Just because Like I said, I've seen the Young Bucks do their shit at the 2300 arena. I seen all that shit before, bro.
Yep, all the indie spots that or the comedy spots I was saying.
Yeah.
I want to point out one thing in this match is Danielson had Omega in the cattle mutilation, and like Nick Jackson jumped from the top and did a swanton, and if you're not careful, that could break your neck. It
so can. I forgot to mention that was definitely scary. But like I said, Dan Bryan left to say, I'm doing all the crazy shit when I leave. That's exactly what he did too. Exactly what he did.
It's so wild that two people that had to retire was in that match. That's so crazy.
Oh yeah, Christian Gage. First of all, I forgot to mention Christian Gage got taken out when he got the Meltzer driver on the outside, or the beat, whatever driver it's called now.
It's still Meltzer driver.
Still Meltzer driver, yeah. CM Punk is in the ring to make the announcement. He said, "Anybody getting tired of this
shit?" Blowing out his knees.
Yeah. He said, "Is anybody getting tired of this shit?" And everybody chanting no because we here in Philly and stuff like that. And he said, he lived in Philly, moved to Philly 2003 for a few years and wrestled and ran a wrestling school and stuff like that. So he got much love for Philly. He comes from humble beginnings. And he said, Philly's always been special to me. He want to give back. Either I wrestle for you or buy you all cheesesteaks. And they was really thinking like, yo, what should we do here? And I was like, yo, seriously? Because, we ain't all going to agree with what the cheesesteak place is going to be. But he says, is it cheesesteak or is it cheesecake? I said, stop it, bro. Stop it. Cheesecake is New York, bro. We in Philly. It's cheesesteak. He said, well, I'm going to wrestle. And he said, and Daniel Garcia, if you got any balls, I'll see you on Rampage. I was like, wait a minute. We're getting I didn't know Philly was getting 2 shows.
Yeah, Rampage.
I thought it was just getting the Dynamite and that was it.
No.
Wow. Okay, so it looks like they're doing Dynamite and then wherever city they're at, they're taping Rampage the same night and then.
I think for this current schedule, yes, but they don't do it all the time.
Oh, okay.
It's like when they were in Chicago, they actually did it 2 different nights.
Okay.
So I guess it depends on the venue. Like obviously for Rampage, they wanted to do the different night to keep that big crowd.
Yeah.
So sometimes they'll do it 2 different nights, and sometimes they'll do it in the same night, depending on the scheduling, which I don't know the scheduling.
Obviously, yeah. So he said on Rampage before leaving, CFO took off his Jordans and gave him to a young fan sitting at ringside. I was like, "Yo, bro, be honest. You got a fresh pair of jeans."
Hold on. He did what?
He gave his Jordans to a fan looking like Orange Cassidy in the audience.
Did you not? Sam Punk, what are you doing? You know how much they cost?
He came from humble beginning. He got his Jordan 1s. Dead serious.
No, he was on a show that I watched, and he bought them for $18,000.
The red and black ones?
He bought a red and black one and black and red.
Well, guess what? The red and black ones is gone.
Punk is oh my god.
He just burning money. I'm just saying.
Because he was like, "Oh, this is my first expensive a pair of shoes." He bought 2 Jordans. He only bought 2 Jordans.
Is that when he was on Complex?
Yeah.
Wow.
He only bought two, and they were 18,000. And he was like, I don't know if I want to do it. So he did, and he gave them away.
He gave one pair away to a fan that was in the front row. It was a kid who was dressed like Orange.
I don't care if he was a kid. It could be a baby.
He said, "No, get them to me." Who was dressed as Orange Cassidy?
Nobody care about no Orange Cassidy. Let Orange Cassidy give him shoes. That kind of made me upset. Like, bruh, you mean a? All right.
Cause look, I was watching. I was like, "Yo, that's supposed to be me and my son in the front row right now." And if I get them J's, like, you giving them Jones to me. The camera look like you got them J's. Them J's is mine. Cause at first, because my wife was he was taking off his shoes, and I was like, "CM Punk, don't do it." And she said, "Do you know what you can cause if you throw a pair of J's in a Philly crowd?" And she said, "You better tie them shits together."
Hospital trips.
Exactly. She said, "You better tie them shits together," because I was like, why would you throw one individual pair of shoes? And then he took them all, and then he went right to a young fan in the front row, whispered something to him, and it's like, hey, these are for you. And then
how much you want to bet that young fan got beat up later that night?
Bro, you in Philly, okay? I know this shit. Like, and everybody was on
thought you was gonna leave home with them shoes, huh? Yeah, give me them shoes.
It was, and I'm like, yo, those are some fresh J's, bro. And see if
just young Philly boy Rob for Jordan. More coming at 10.
I gotta watch this, make sure that didn't happen. And I'm just like, yo, he better make sure he got the arena last, okay? To make sure, let everybody else go first, and you get out the Leocore Center. Because you went to the Leocore Center. Now, I'm going to tell you something, Prime. You know where Leocore Center is at up here?
South Philly?
No, it's North Philly.
North Philly? Okay.
Yeah, North Philly. That is the Urban Youth Center right there. Because Leocore Center is part of Temple. Temple is the nice part of North Philly. That's the gentrified Northern Liberty section. But in reality, you are still in North Philly. When you go to the Wells Fargo, you're in South Philly. No, you're in North Philly. And you heard the stories about North Philly. So I'm just like, bro, I hope you went to your parking lot, got to your car, and was like, speed off. But yeah, he gave them those away. Arn Anderson's outside Cody's house, and he called
boom, boom.
Arn Anderson's outside Cody's house. He's sitting there, burning stuff up because he said that Cody got too Hollywood, and then he was burning his blades and stuff like that. And then Cody said, "What you doing?" Like, and he was just like, "Oh, somebody actually knows that I'm here." Because he said, "Arn, you don't need to throw that away." Because he took off his salmon tie, and then Arn slapped Cody right in the face, and he threw it away. And then he said, "You threw us away," and then he just threw the tie into the
You mean to tell me?
Say what?
You mean to tell me Cody just in his house chilling? He got on the full suit. I'm just asking a question.
That is a heel shit thing to do, like a salmon suit. He just in the house just chilling while take care of little Liberty with a whole suit on, 3-piece suit. That's Cody for you. That is
1961. Cool.
Okay. TNT Championship, title match. Sammy Guevara taking on Bobby Fish. I like this because Bobby Fish returned to like that old martial arts kickboxing style Bobby Fish.
Mm-hmm.
And he showed that he was in there hanging with Sammy Guevara, even though he's like 40 years old. And I'm just like, every time I see shit like
42,
this.
ain't he?
Yeah, I know. Every time I see shit like this, I'm just like, they just never gave him a chance. He's just undisputed era, and that was it. But they never gave him like the chance.
Yeah, his first match was against Aleister Black, and he lost, and then he wasn't on TV after that until Undisputed Era.
Yeah. So there's Sammy Guevara tries to get a little pretty on the ropes, but Bobby Fish kicks him off the ropes. A very dangerous spot, so he need to be careful with that. But Bobby Fish does a top rope Super Falcon's arrow, which looks so pretty. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm glad he was still able to hit that, and then covers up for a 2 count. But I like how Sammy Guevara fights back, and then he hits him with a GTH, and I like how Bobby Fish sold that shit. He like
I thought he was like legit knocked out for
he like just rolled backwards like done. And I was like, oh, I that was a great finish. So good matchup. I'm glad to see Bobby Fish in AEW.
Yeah, Bobby Fish is officially all elite.
All elite. America's top team with Dan Lambert and Scorpio Sky starts surrounding the ring, and then
this was so weird at first because like it was Paige Van Zant that came out at first, and for one, I never knew Paige Van Zant before now, and now I'm like, yeah, I know Paige Van Zant a lot, but I did not know. I was like, why is she just like in the ring? She's not scared. Like, I don't know. It was just weird.
Oh man, I forgot this. I forgot to say. That's what I forgot to mention about NXT because you made me think about her when they finally explained who the hell Diamond Mine is.
So who is she?
Like no, because well, she was on that show that The Rock had. You know, they had like the tough competitors and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no,
Titan Games.
Yeah, Titan Games. Yeah, no. When you talk about the girl that came out in AEW, it made me think of Homegirl from Diamond Mine.
Oh, okay. And Sasha was on there too.
Oh, she was? Okay, yeah. Well,
yeah.
The girl from Diamond Mine a little better, but I'm just saying. But Malcolm Bivens, they did a whole backstage promo explaining who the fuck Diamond Mine is, and I was like, oh, thank you. Finally,
they need
somebody
to explain that to you because every time they get a new member, they get fired, so they need to keep explaining.
Well, this time the Asian guy is the coach.
Okay, then the Creed brothers.
Yeah, they got the Creed brothers, and then you got Homegirl. Then you got Roderick Strong. It looks like they may be taking the place of Hit Row. I agree.
All right.
Which I don't necessarily agree with, but because they're putting a lot of stock behind the statement. But anyway, Fuego del Sol tries to run down to the ring to help Sammy out, but it doesn't work. But then here comes Chris Jericho and Jake Hager.
The two UFC guys did not. They didn't. I wasn't feeling it.
No, they know how to truly pull their punches.
Yeah, but it was like doing like they weren't like punching. It was like mashing their face.
Yeah.
I was like, it don't look good.
It did not look good, especially on TV. Like you got to train these guys. So Jericho here come out, and then I like how it reminded me a lot like New Jack. The song kept stopped, but the fans kept singing the song as they try to retreat. And Ted Lambert was trying to talk, but no, they didn't finish the song. He's like, "Gavar, get out your system." And he said, "You've been a big man bitch for a long time, Chris." He said, "Rampage is coming to Miami and South Florida. It's the home of America's top team. There's only one king of the streets in the 315, and that's Joy Masterval.
That's the one who gave him the knee.
Yeah, our town.
Which is like match. He should be the one that's in the match.
Exactly. Our town match, man of the year, and Junior Dos Santos with my bodyguard, ringside against your team, Jericho, said Lambert. And the Jericho said, "We're gonna beat the living shit out you, Lambert." And we'll see.
And then here comes JR. That's the first time I heard that.
No. JR was just like, "Oh, that's a real one." He said, "The living shit." That's a true ass again. Now he gonna be the shit. I'm gonna be the living shit out you. I got a good laugh out of that. Tony Schiavone's in the ring with Aubrey Edwards for a special announcement by Tony Khan, even though it's just basically Tony Schiavone making the announcement. Tony Khan ain't coming out on TV. And they're announcing that since the men have the TNT Championship and we're moving to TBS January 5th, we're going to make the TBS Championship, and that's going to be for the women's division. So they showcased the belt. The belt didn't look bad.
It don't look bad, but I do have a problem with it.
Is it the blue?
No, it's the. I wish it was a distinguished belt.
So does it have TBS across it?
No, I'm saying like it's literally the TNT belt, but with TBS on it. Yeah. I wish they would have made it a different look to have its own unique look, because in WWE we hate the belt with the big W on it because they all look the same.
Yeah.
So also we want different variety in the belts. So what'd you say?
No, to be honest, the TBS championship looks better than their women's championship.
I think that women's championship looks good. It just don't have no color. While the TBS has that nice blue.
It's also so 1970s small. You see how small it is?
Well, yeah, but Cody like the old school looking belts and all that kind of stuff.
But if that's the case, then why don't all the belts look like that? Because that is the smallest belt they have. I'm like, we should the women can't handle it. But then the TBS championship looks like the actual men's size championship.
Yeah, because it is. It's just a TBS. It's difference. I just wish that it would be like distinguish their own belt. That's all. But it does look good. I like the blue around it. I just kind of wish it was its own thing.
Yeah.
And then also if I'm nitpicking, the TBS logo in the middle with the black kind of looks weird. Like, why not just put the whole circle black and not like just that small little part? Sure.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying, but overall, like I said, I kind of do like the belt. It's going to be a tournament to see who's going to win the championship. Now, I hope, because Britt Baker had a promo backstage saying that now all y'all bitches can fight over something else. And I'm sitting there like, okay, you got to understand something. We just got another women's storyline going. I hope AEW, because they do have a problem with these women throwing them in the dark, that it's like, you got to, the main focus is supposed to be a women's championship. So you got to make big stories for that, and then you got to make undercard stories for this TBS championship. Don't just make the TBS championship feel bigger than a women's championship. You know what I'm saying?
I think that the champ will either be Ruby Soho, Jade, or Thunder Rosa.
It's going to be Jade Cargill. Thunder Rosa needs to go for that women's champ. I truly think that Jade wins that belt, and she goes feud with the people down undercard, while Thunder Rosa works her way up the rankings, and then she goes challenge Britt Baker at Revolution. That's in like February.
I don't want her to. Well, I guess she could be at Revolution. Yeah, that's only like a few months from now.
I don't know. If you look at it, it's 5 months away.
Okay, wait. Well, yeah, then yeah, maybe.
Yeah, so I mean, that's almost another half a year to just get things ready, get her wins back up, because she just took a loss on Rampage. So, now she's probably back in dark, so she probably got to get her wins back up and things like that. So,
I don't know who they pushed though to the top, because I don't know who's at, like, she's fought Red Velvet, she's fought Statlander, she's fought Ruby Soho. Who else is there? I know there's other people, but they don't really have their women showcase. Like, there's Kiera Hogan and other people like that, but we'll see.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I hope that this TBS championship does not cloud the fact that y'all gotta focus on your women's championship first. Cause I think they put a lot of stock in behind, like, I want Jade to be this champion because she's still undefeated. But even if they're gonna put it on Jade, but it's like they're making this a big deal. We all need to make your women's championship the big deal. But you gotta push some other women up to the forefront. And right now, y'all need to reserve Thunder Rosa and for Revolution, but you need somebody for Full Gear in November. So they need to push somebody up. And right now, the number one contender really is Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things they got to work on with that. Darby Allin versus Nick Comoroto from the Factory. Darby Allin just comes out with his entrance and it just dives onto him to the outside. Then we get a picture-in-picture. And then next thing you know, he comes up we come back, coffin drop. That's the end of the matchup. So QT Marshall comes in there and hits Sting. Sting no-sells it and pops back up after the diamond cut. Hits a scorpion death drop on QT. Get rid of the Factory, okay? Get rid of him.
Yeah, it was always speculated on why QT has a job, but now we know why. It's because QT is what's the dude's name?
Who?
The Booty Man.
The Booty Man. Billy Gunn?
No. Oh my God, what is his name? Ed Leslie. What is his name?
What group is he in?
Butcher. The Butcher. No, not the Butcher.
The Butcher and the Blade. Oh.
Not the Butcher. What is his name, man? Brutus the Barber. My bad.
Brutus the Barber. Beefcake. Okay.
To be fair, man, Brutus the Barber Beefcake. He is Brutus the Barber Beefcake, like how he was to Hogan, where he was Hogan's friend, so he just got put on.
Yeah.
That's what QT is for Cody.
Yeah, he definitely just got put on. Definitely.
Especially watching Rose to the Top. I'm like, bro, he's in every episode so far.
Yeah. He's
like a main character.
Even Brady's like, it's always QT. I'm just like, it's like, what the fuck? Like, get him out of here. Get QT out of here, bro. Evil Uno's backstage because Dark Order sucks. And they decide that they're going to be on the same page now. Dante Martin's in the ring, and then he says, look, he's here to fight anyone in the AEW locker room because, you know, he's proven that he could be a single star. Then the lights shut off, and then right behind him is Malachi Black. I like how he introduced himself. Sprayed him with the mist, and then hit him with the black mask. And then it went dark again, and then... I don't think it needed to go dark the second time. It did, and it's just like, okay.
Because I can understand if he was supposed to be, like, hiding Dante. He just rolled out to the... He just rolled out to the floor.
Right to the ring. I was like, okay, so just keep him there.
Just you know, show it. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that, but Dante Martin versus Malachi Black should be a dope match, though.
Do you think it'd be do you think it'd be like a feud or just a one-off?
It'll be a
kind of win.
It'll be like, I think Malachi Black is going to do to Dante Martin what he did for Velveteen Dream.
Okay.
That's why I think it's going to be where this is going to help get Dante Martin over in a loss more, and then Malachi Black is going to show him respect. He's not part of the Nightmare family. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think this is going to be. The FTW World Champion, Absolute Ricky Starks in the ring. He says he has the same damn mindset as Taz, and that's why he's FTW Champion. We can't say the same about Brian Cage. Brian, the typical Brian fashion.
Question.
Yeah. Is
Ricky Starks the face in this feud?
Like, it seemed like it, but I'm like...
Ricky Starks is very over.
Look, I'm going to tell you like this. If this is the way it's being booked, and they get... This feud gets no TV time whatsoever, then I see why Brian Cage and his fiance are pissed. Because they get... Brian Cage just comes storming out there, and because it's going to be a Philly street fight on Rampage, and then as that happens, Powerhouse Hobbs and Hook pull Starks out of the ring, saving him from Brian Cage. I'm just like, okay, well, this feud gets no time. Every week, this feud gets no time. The Brian Cage
I think this is a what do you call it? A redoing of the feud?
I guess.
like a revival. Because remember, I thought the feud was over because he was going after Punk, but obviously that wasn't the case, and then they just kind of, I guess, paused on Brian Cage for Punk.
I guess so.
And then now they're going back to
Cage. I can see why that will make Brian Cage unhappy, to be honest with you. But we got to see how it plays out.
And plus, he's fighting Ricky Starks. No offense to Brian Cage, but him and Ricky Starks just don't even look like they should be fighting each other.
You're right. We got Hikaru Shida versus the Woman of 1,000 Holes, Serena Deeb. This is going to be, if Shida wins, she gets her 50th win. The first woman in AEW to get 50 wins. As soon as they showed that trophy on the outside, I knew she was losing. A lot
of people thought she was winning because it already had her name on it and everything.
No, because see, why would you don't show that shit if they win? I was like, you bring it out afterwards. It's like you don't show the NBA championship to somebody at their home on the home thing because it will make them lose. No, so her and she had a pretty decent matchup, but she started working on her left leg, and then that's what gave Hikaru Shida in. She even tried to hit most of her moves, even the Falcon Zero, and then Serena Deeb kept kicking out, and then Serena Deeb hit the Serenity Lock and forced Shida to tap out. So now she's 49-10, in her matchup, and then she took the trophy and hit Serena Deeb over the head with it and broke it. So now we actually got a rivalry going. So I'm like, okay, a rivalry going that's not part of the women's championship. Good job. Now Serena can now Sheeta can chase for that 50th ring, and don't give it to her on Dark. Give it to her on like a pay-per-view or something, or a special show. Don't just give it. I did that. They're probably trying to save it for like Full Gear, and then like maybe
I think they'll save it for another big Dynamite.
Or another big Dynamite. Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, Full Gear is in about 4 weeks. Anyway.
They probably do it at the Miami show.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. Outside, Alex Marquez tells Darby Allin that MJF asked for a match with you next week on Dynamite, and he says, of course. But then his limousine pulls up, and then these mass hoodlums that was called by Muhammad Hassan came out and attacked Darby. And then Warlow, which we knew was him, gave him an F10 on these, the stop sign and these guardrails. Like, why would you take that fucking bump?
So just real quick. So when I came in, I seen the guy with the mask grab the camera, and I'm like, because I did not know what was going on. I didn't know who it was at the time. I was just like, is that Sean Spears? And then 2 people got in the car, and I'm like, so those must be the Revival. But I wasn't sure. I thought it was like hired people.
No, it's the fucking Pinnacle.
Yeah, and then I seen the big dude get out. Okay, obviously that's Warner. So obviously this is the Pinnacle. Yeah. Like at first I was like, maybe he got some hired people, because I didn't know that. I didn't even know that this was MJF related. But then obviously, you see the big dude, looking all stuff.
And then he gives him an F10 on all that steel, which was a dumb bump to take. But yeah, so he gets treated. They say that he may not be able to make it till next week. Leo Rush is backstage, and he's saying he's trying to get on Dante Martin's side. He said, if you take the challenge from Malachi Black, maybe you need some guidance. Maybe you need to wrench, rush, and repeat. We'll talk soon. Main event time, the casino ladder match. We have Andrade El Idolo taking on Jon Moxley, the Murder Hawk, Lance Archer, Big Money Matt, Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy, Pac, and the Joker card. So Orange Cassidy and Pac start the thing out because, shout out to was it their match last year? The first Dynamite. They the ones who started out also. I thought that was cool. Andrade comes out next when Pac hits the ladder on Andrade. Then after that we get we get Matt Hardy. No knees Matt Hardy coming down here, who has no business being in this matchup. Comes down. Then we have Lance Archer coming down with just a random guy that he's beating up. He's still doing that gimmick. just toss a random person around, just beat him up. Then we get Moxie coming down from the ring. He comes out from the crowd. Him and Lance Archer are going at it and fighting. And then we get the Joker card, which turns out to be Adam Page, and he was over in Philly. The crowd was chanting for him hard in Philly. So the winner of this matchup is a future world title matchup. A lot of things here. A lot of big ladder spots. Adam Page hits Pac off the ladder with his, I forgot what he calls that finishing move when he has you like
dead eye.
The dead eye through a table. I was like, thank God Pac took it the right. I was scared how he was going to take that move. Pac kicks Andrade off the top rope down to a ladder that's set up at like on the I guess it was on the apron in the it wasn't the table, I guess the apron and the guardrail, but Andrade crashes through that. Orange Cassidy gets taken out. Lance Archer, I didn't even see how Lance Archer got taken out, to be honest with you. Moxley and Page.
Lance Archer got I forgot he got taken out. I forget how though.
Yeah, Orange Cassidy got taken out by Matt Hardy when he gave him a leg drop through the table, and Matt hurt his own fucking self because now he ain't got no thighs.
I think that's the move that messed up his knees in the first place.
Exactly. But the truth is the truth, right?
Wait a minute. I'm looking at a picture of the Blue Meanie on AEW.
Okay, I didn't even see that part, Pinky.
I guess he's on Dark or something. I don't know.
Okay, that's just wrong. That's just all the way wrong. John Moxley and Adam Page up there fighting, and all of a sudden John Moxley just kind of like falls off. Like he just like, oh man, I'm too dizzy, and just falls off. Adam Page wins the poker chip, and like I said, Adam Page is back in contention for the championship. It ain't gonna be Bryan Danielson. It's going to be Adam Page is gonna take the championship off Kenny Omega.
The weird part, I didn't like how. I guess it's just a me thing. I wish it was like a more of a climactic win. Like I knew Hangman was gonna win, but like the way that Moxley fell, was not like it's like I thought something was gonna happen because he waited for Moxley to fall. He fell slow, and he was looking at him the whole time. And then he went up to get it, and he couldn't get it. And I was like, oh, somebody else gonna definitely gonna beat him up, right? But nah. He just took forever to unpick it. I was like, okay, well, yeah.
But they once again was running out of time, and
it's I mean, I like that Hangman is winning. I like that he kept his heat and all that. But this will feel it's going to feel weird.
I mean, I think it's going to be a good weird though, because like I said, I don't know if he's going to challenge at Full Gear, which he probably should, or if he's going to challenge at Revolution, but. It's going to be a pay-per-view that he's going to challenge for this title.
Yes, and he's going to challenge, and I think he's going to win, but I don't know necessarily if he'll have like a lengthy title reign.
Oh, you think he's going to go to Bryan Danielson?
I don't know who's going to go to it. I'm saying like I think after Omega is not going to be like a 6-month, 10-month reign. It's going to go like maybe 5 months and 3 months or whatever.
Probably just to the next pay-per-view.
Like probably just to get more people, like more main people, like Punk or Bryan or whoever, to have the belt. But they at least want to give it to Hangman, I think, because he's homegrown.
I think so too. But I think Hangman and Bryan Danielson can have some decent matches. I think CM Punk is still working with the undercard. I think we gotta see how this Owen Hart tournament is gonna work out next year.
Okay.
Because I think also that could play a part into it also when Kevin Owens comes over here and wins that draw. So, yeah, so that thing plays out. But that was the Midweek Wrestling War, guys. I know we went kind of over on time a little bit here, but it was like the pack. We went an hour. So, what was the better show this week for you, Brian?
AEW Dynamite. Oh, speaking of AEW Dynamite, JR, who cares about the Oklahoma Sooners? Did you hear what he said?
No, I missed it.
He said Hangman Page wins the chip, the casino chip, and we're titled for the championship. Good night, folks, and remember, go Sooners, beat Texas. Fade to black. JR, who cares about the Sooners?
He loves his college football, baby.
Like, I was like, that was not needed at all. I wonder who was watching and say, yeah, we need the Sooners to go beat, like,
everybody that's in Oklahoma.
I was like, all right, JR. Nobody cares.
You're right. Nobody does care. But guys,
beat Texas.
You said what?
That's what he said. Beat Texas. Go Sooners.
Beat Texas. They use little JR's barbecue sauce. Yeah, I agree. AEW had the better show this week. So post that comments down below. How did you guys feel, who you felt had the better show? Thanks for listening to us. If you listen to us on the podcast, we're going to move on. But if you listen to us right here on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, and share to NC Studios for more content like this. So once again, it's NC a place to be. Choice Raymond saying D and not Deion Sanders for prime time.
All right, beat Texas.
And Nerd Culture is out.